Live from the Lawrenceville School here in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, Strive brings you Mercersburg baseball as today the Blue Storm take on the Big Red here in Mercer County, New Jersey. Matt Nelson and Tom Moffalo here with you today on the call. And Tom, Mercersburg essentially has to keep on winning if they want to stay in contention to win the Maple League.
2 wins and another outright championship for the Mercersburg Blue Storm. If they sweep it today, they will bring it home for another year. And another Maple championship for the school. This is one of the best programs in the Maple. It has been for a really long time. Carl has done a fantastic job here, and they have an opportunity to win an outright championship. They have 2 losses in the league. The Hunt School has 7-3 on the year, so if Mercersburg were to split this game, they would still clinch a share. Split this series, they would still clinch a share of the Maple championship. But 2 wins today and an outright championship for the Blue Storm.
And with Hunt already being done with Maple League play, this gives Mercersburg an opportunity to capitalize on potentially, like you said, either sharing or winning the Maple League championship overall. How much pressure is there on Mercersburg, being the fact that they basically have to win both of these games to win it outright?
Well, I think that something that Mercersburg handles very well is they don't really even let pressure kind of creep into their mindset. That's not what they do. They go out there and they do their job, and they're a really talented team. They're a really well-coached team. And on the bump they have today, they have the big freshman, Bo Lowry, who's going to do a fantastic job for them as he has all season long. And they know behind him they can beat pretty much anybody. So with good defense and they manufacture runs, or they like to use small ball. They do a lot of that stuff as well. So I think they should be pretty confident. Also, Lawrenceville is without one of their captains, Matt Tola, today. Their shortstop, their emotional leader. He's their physical leader. He's kind of their do-everything guy. He's headed to Penn next year, one of the best players in the league for the 4 years that he has started here at Lawrenceville. So that's a big blow for the Big Red. And Mercersburg kind of can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief without him at shortstop leading this team, because he really is the heart and soul of the squad.
And for Bo Lowry, those the people who may not know much about him, he is only a freshman out of Martinsburg, West Virginia, 6-2 with a 1.12 ERA, which is absolutely filthy for a freshman pitcher.
Yeah, not common. Not common, and he's been doing a great job. And I remember going to do the wrestling game up at Mercersburg earlier this year, and Mike Collins, who works at the over at the different fields and grounds over at Mercersburg, pointed to Bo, and he said, watch out for this kid. He's going to be an absolute stud. He was a JV basketball player, and he said, you just wait till you see him on the mound. And he has lived up to the hype so far, and he's done a great job, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see where he is 4 years from now.
As you see, Mercersburg on the third base dugout, they're in the road blue with the white letters and numbers and the gray bottoms. Lawrenceville, which is not pictured here in this screen, are in the home white with the red letters and numbers, the black outline, as we will pan our camera to the left and take a look at Lawrenceville. 10-6 overall coming in, 4-4 in the Maple League, as Mercersburg is 16-3 overall, 6-2 in the Maple League. And their head coach, Carl Reisner, is practically a Mercersburg lifer. This will be his 42nd year coaching a Mercersburg sport. 24th of baseball, so he's essentially the Mike Krzyzewski of Mercersburg.
He really is, and they've had some outstanding teams at Mercersburg. They have 2 current players that are playing in major league or in affiliated minor league organizations. Yep. In Josh Edgen and Christian Belfort, and Binford. And it's a tribute to the talent that they have brought in. I remember a couple years ago, another year where they won the Maple. They had some of the best talent that I've seen a Mercersburg team have, with Tiger Smith on the mound, Lorenzo Vasquez in center field. It was just a team that was filled and loaded with talent. And this is a young team that Carl Reisner has, but it's also another very, very talented and very, very capable team that has a lot of confidence.
So Lawrenceburg is in the field to begin things off, and the man they have on the mound is Lorenzo Lagares out of Jamaica, New York, which is essentially in the New York City metropolitan area, a right-hander who throws between 83 and 85 on the radar gun at his max. And I'll try and read off his stats here for you. 2-2 record. The ERA unofficially, actually there is no ERA, but Nonetheless, Lagares has been on the mound for 26 innings, 16 hits. The ERA is actually 1.34. And opponents are hitting 160 overall this season.
Yeah, Lorenzo is a stud. You saw him pitch in the if-necessary game, so to speak, the second game of the double elimination tournament of the Prep A finals last year, and he struck out 10 Blair batters in that game. Came in almost cold. He's their everyday second baseman, but he's done an outstanding job for them on the mound. Has a ridiculous slider that is very, very difficult to hit. Also, we saw him in the bullpen over here throwing some splitters, so he is a very, very capable pitcher.
Mike De La Rosa leads off and takes the first pitch for a called strike, 0-1, and we're underway here in game number 1 of the doubleheader between Lawrenceburg and Mercersburg.
Lawrenceville.
Lawrenceville, rather.
There you go.
Lagares steals, and the pitch is a bit high for a ball, 1-1. De La Rosa, the Mercersburg left fielder, is batting .426, no home runs, and 13 RBIs out of Oxford, New York. 1-1 is taken inside for a ball, 2-1. De La Rosa will be heading to the University of Dayton to play baseball in the fall. The pitch is swung on and found straight back. Count goes to 2-2 on De La Rosa. De La Rosa has also been very effective when he gets on base, stealing 13 bases and also drawing 14 walks. Lagares is ready to go. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Beautiful pitch that time for Lagares, and there's one out here in the top of the first.
Yeah, nice job battling by Lagares as he fell behind in the count, but really nice battle there. Nice little individual win to get the first out on the board here for Lawrenceville.
Second right-handed batter of the afternoon. Here's Deji Andrew, the Mercersburg center fielder. And the first pitch is in there for a called strike 1.
Lagares is bringing it today. He certainly is. When you said 83 to 85, I was a little bit taken back because I didn't remember him throwing that hard last year, but he's bringing it today.
Andrew, the Mercersburg, Pennsylvania native, comes in batting .466, no home runs, 18 RBIs, and he'll be headed to Harvey Mudd, which is based out of Claremont, California.
Yeah, one of the best schools in the country.
Swing, and it's fouled over the screen. The count goes to 0-2 on Andrew. Andrew, a senior outfielder, who has also been very effective on the bases when he gets on. 9 stolen bases. He's also drawn 11 walks. It'll be an 0-2, and the pitch goes back to the screen for ball 1.
Saw a breaking ball there. Unable to block it. The Lawrenceville catcher.
Tristan Baker is in the on-deck circle for the Blue Storm as he brings the loose ball back over toward the dugout. It'll be a 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. In there for a called strike 3. What a start for Lorenzo Lagares, striking out the first 2 batters, one swinging and one looking.
Great command so far out of Lagares. Great tempo as well as he has been mowing down these Mercersburg hitters so far here in the top of the first inning.
Baker at the plate right now for the Blue Storm. Third right-handed batter of the frame. The pitch by Lagares is a nice off-speed pitch for a called strike 1. Baker is hitting .516. That's 31 for 60. 21 RBIs as well. Pitch is outside and low for a ball, 1-1. Baker will be heading to Shenandoah University, which is located in Winchester, Virginia, in the fall. The 1-1. Just a bit high for a ball, 2-1. So I believe this is the first time that Lagares is behind in the count. Base is empty, 2 out. The pitch is in the dirt for a ball, 3-1. Baker, shortstop and pitcher, a senior from Williamsport, Maryland. At the plate now for the Blue Storm, who are looking for the Maple League crown. 3-1 pitch. And that one is low for ball 4.
Really like the idea there by Lagares, not giving in. The 500 hitter didn't want to just lay a get-me-over fastball over the plate, so he went breaking ball there. Just missed.
So anytime you're facing a really good hitter, you got to be careful of where you throw your pitches.
Exactly. A really nice job by Baker to lay off of that and get on first base. Try to get something going here for the Blue Storm.
The cleanup hitter is Chris Adusi Poku, and the pitch is flying to left field. Coming on to make the catch for Lawrenceville is Sean Cuskley, and the side is retired on the first pitch of the at-bat. Lawrenceville strands 1. We head to the bottom of the first. The Big Red coming to the plate next here on Strive. Bottom of the first, no score. The Lawrenceville Big Red coming to the plate here against Mercersburg and freshman left-hander and stud Bo Lowry. Lowry has been phenomenal this year. The freshman out of Martinsburg, West Virginia, 6-2 with a 1.12 ERA, 50 innings, 28 hits, 13 runs, 8 earned, 13 walks, 54 punch-outs in 10 games. The first pitch to Luke Apuzzi is swung on and missed for strike 1.
And Luke Apuzzi, one of the best athletes, maybe the best athlete on the field, an outstanding center fielder, is a free swinger.
0-1 pitch, a bit high for a ball, 1-1.
So you've seen teams take advantage of that, throw him some breaking balls early in the count, but if he connects to one, it's going to be a problem.
Another 1-1 is up and away for a ball, 2-1 to Apuzzi. Puzzi's batting .320 this season and has stolen 7 bases for the Big Red.
Another one, 2-1 breaking ball there. I love when pitchers do that behind in the count. Hitters don't expect it. You can command it. It's a great pitch.
Pitch is just low for a ball. 3-2 to Luke Apuzzi, the Big Red leadoff batter. Apuzzi, a junior outfielder out of Princeton, New Jersey. Payoff pitch is in the dirt for ball 4. So Lowry begins his afternoon on the mound, walking the leadoff man for the Big Red, and this will bring on Sean Cuskley, the Lawrenceville left fielder.
And Apuzzi is absolutely worthy of the pitcher's attention at first base. 7 stolen bases on the year. An outstanding base runner.
Apuzzi, also a multi-sport player, as the first pitch is bunted foul by Cuskley, 0-1.
Wide receiver on the football team.
2014 All-Maple League.
All-Maple. Plays safety as well. He's a Division I prospect in that regard.
Cuskley hitting .325 on the season, including 3 doubles. The next pitch is bunted foul right toward the screen, 0-2.
And, Lawrenceville loves to play small ball, especially against a tough pitcher. And Cuskley, I'm not sure if Champ Atley's going to give him the sign once again, but they really want to get this runner over to second base. Excuse me.
0-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Might have been foul tipped there by Cusley, but it's the first punch out of the afternoon for Bo Lowry. 1 out, bottom of the first.
I mean, nice job by Lowry to come back with a breaking ball there after 2 failed bunt attempts and just kind of wash away that opportunity to get a runner over to second base. So really nice job by Lowry.
Dan Leckie at the plate for the Big Red. First pitch is swung on and fly deep down the right field line. It is, I believe it's fair. Runners are going to try to go to third, and the throw is over the head of the third baseman. And now Apuzzi will try to go for home. The throw is way over everyone. Going to third is Dan Leckie.
He's going to score, Matt.
Or he's, wow.
That was outrageous. Let's take a look at that.
It'll be interesting to see what the ruling is.
Here we go. I wasn't sure if this was going to land fair, but it did down the right field line, and we'll take a look, see it creep in here right inside the line. That's a close call, but they called it fair. Mercersburg plays it, but Luke Apuzzi was kind of hung up on the bases. There's an overthrow to third base and then an overthrow to home, and 2 runs for the Big Red. Unbelievable turn of events here.
They gave Leckie a base hit. No errors on the scoreboard here at James C. Watt Field. As John Vasiliev steps in, first pitch is a ball, 1-0.
Well, I would say it's probably a single, and then a couple of errors on the throws there to advance Luke Apuzzi to third and ultimately home, and then Leckie ultimately to third and home.
This pitch is popped up in the air right side, chasing over at the Mercersburg first baseman. That one is going to fall in foul. Miles Herron in there on the run for the Blue Storm. The count is 1-1. Defense for Mercersburg. Mike De La Rosa out in left. Deji Andrew in center field with Brandon Thomas out in right. Give it the infield in just a moment after this 1-1 pitch. And it's low for a ball, 2-1. Dylan Bartlett at third. Tristan Baker is at short. Shugo Tahara at second with Miles Herron at first. Long fly ball, deep left center field. That's going to be extra bases. Vasiliev heads for second. He will get there as the throw is cut off in shallow center field. It is a double for John Vasiliev, and Lawrenceville looking to capitalize yet again with this 2-0 lead.
Only 1 out. Vasiliev, one of the most dangerous hitters in this league, squares up a baseball very, very well, puts this one into the gap, an easy double for the Big Red. This is a Big Red team. It's fought through some adversity. They are a very, very capable team of going on a run and scoring a ton of runs against good pitching.
Matt Gutierrez at the plate, swinging a miss, 0-1. The catcher from Mercersburg is Chris Adusi Poku, and Tucker Wally is the designated hitter. It'll be an 0-1 to Gutierrez, and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Gutierrez batting .395 with 11 RBIs for the Big Red. He also has a pair of doubles this season. It's a swing and a foul tip for strike 3.
And good job by Lowry taking advantage of the aggressiveness of these Lawrenceville hitters, Matt. They are free swingers, but you see when they connect, it's usually a good thing. But Lowry just doing a great job climbing the ladder there, forcing Gutierrez to chase for the second out of the inning.
Lowry now with 2 strikeouts here in the first, with Michael O'Hara at the dish for Lawrenceville. Pitch is swung on and grounded to short. Play will be to first by Tristan Baker, and the throw is easily in time. Side retired. However, Lawrenceville strikes first, a pair of runs on a single by Dan Leckie, and then he scored on a pair of errors. 2-0 at the end of 1, Lawrenceville on top here on Strive. Top of the second here at Lawrenceville. The Big Red have a 2-0 lead on the Mercersburg Blue Storm. Matt Nelson, Tom Monfletto back here with you. As Lorenzo Lagares heads back on the hill, he'll face Brandon Thomas to lead things off for Mercersburg. First left-handed batter of the day, and it's a ground ball hit towards short. Dan Lucky scoops it up, fires to first. The throw is in time! And Brandon Thomas was hopping in the air. Can't believe it at all. 1 out here in the top of the second.
And Brandon Thomas can scoop because that is an absolutely routine ground ball to shortstop. Lucky with a really good arm. Let's see him make this play here. Taking his time, good arm, and that's how fast Brandon Thomas is. That is impressive speed down the line.
Miles Heron at the plate now for Mercersburg as they go back from the left to the right side of the plate. And the first pitch misses for a ball, 1-0 to Heron. Heron, the junior from Saxons River, Vermont, a pitcher and infielder for this Blue Storm team. 1-0 is in there for a called strike one. Heron, as a pitcher, is 4-0 with a 1.91 ERA. I don't have his batting stats offhand as he fouls it back to the screen for strike two. But I have to say, anyone for Vermont I happen to like very much.
Just from the state in general?
Yeah. Okay. I just love that area in its entirety. It'll be a 1-2, and the pitch is swung on, and it missed. The catcher will have to throw to first as Judison makes the throw to first for a strikeout, and 2-3 put out for out number 2.
I was really impressed with what I've seen out of both pitchers so far here today. Really nice command and command of multiple pitches as well.
Now it's pitcher on pitcher as Bo Lowry is at the dish for the Blue Storm. 2-0 Lawrenceville, and the pitch is high for a ball, 1-0. So Lowry at the plate. Don't have his batting stats, but he's looking to help Mercersburg try and potentially tie this game here. At least begin a rally if necessary. Lowry now ahead of the count. It's a 2-ball, no-strike pitch. Here it comes from Lagares, and it's swung on and grounded to short. Scooped up by Leckie. Throw to first is easy and in time for a 1-2-3 inning. Mercersburg going down in order, and now Lawrenceville will head back to the plate when we come back here on Strive. It's 2-0 Big Red. Bottom of the second here in Lawrenceville, 2-0 Big Red on top. Matt Nelson, Tom Monfletto back here with you on the call. The bottom of the third for the Big Red at the plate against Bo Lowry as Will Bernecki takes the first pitch for a call and strike, 0-1. Bernecki hitting .295 with no home runs and RBIs, and the count goes to 1-1 on the Lawrenceville first baseman. Bernecki out of Shelburne, Vermont, a senior who is also on the ice hockey team here in Lawrenceville. 2-1. Swing. And it is fouled at the plate. 2-2. Lowry got off to a bit of a slow start back in the first, where he surrendered 2 runs, 2 of which came on errors. There's a long fly ball deep down the left field line, but it's caught by the Mercersburg left fielder, Mike De La Rosa, 1 out. De La Rosa got a heck of a jump on that ball.
A really good piece of hitting by Bernicke. Squared that one up very nicely. These Lawrenceville hitters are on today, seeing the ball very, very well.
So here is the Lawrenceville catcher, Greg Jittison. 1-0 is swung on and missed for strike 1. Jittison batting .333 on the season as he lifts one high in the air. First base side in near foul territory. It's dropped by the right fielder for a foul ball. It's actually the second baseman who moved over for Mercersburg. That was Shugo Tahara. And the count is 1-1.
That was a nice hustle by Tahara, probably his ball. I think this will go to 1-2 now, Matt, but probably his ball. Good hustle, and Lawrenceville gets away with one there.
And the pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. Third strikeout of the day for Bo Lowry. 2 gone here in the bottom of the second. And Lowry, well, despite that slow start in the first, he certainly looks good on the mound, striking out batters.
Yeah, he does, and he keeps his composure really, really well.
Will Venizelos to the plate. First pitch is a ball, 1-0 to the Lawrenceville third baseman.
That might have been in for a strike. This one will be low, so this will be a 1-1 now.
Venizelos, a freshman out of nearby Pennington, New Jersey, swing and a miss for strike 2. Venizelos is batting .308 on the season as he fouls one away, and will do it again, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Venizelos is a very, very exciting player, so to speak, because he has so much potential as well. Room to grow, but already very, very talented.
Swing and a miss, and that's back-to-back strikeouts for the freshman lefty, Bo Lowry, side retired. It's a 1-2-3 as we will head to the top of the third. Lawrenceville leading Mercersburg 2-0. Back here for the top of the third inning. Matt Nelson, Tom Monfiletto back here with you. Shugo Tahara takes the first pitch for a call and strike. 0-1 against Lorenzo Lagares. It's a 2-0 Lawrenceville lead here in Game 1 of this doubleheader. We're only doing the first game. 0-1 swung on and fouled out of play. The count 0-2 on Tahara. Tahara out of Tokyo, Japan, second baseman junior. batting .250 with no home runs and 7 RBIs. Lagares has the sign. He kicks and fires. And the 0-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3. It is the 4th strikeout of the afternoon for Lorenzo Lagares, 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. Here's the DH, Tucker Wally for the Blue Storm. Right-handed batter. And the pitch is high, ball 1. Wally batting .222 with no home runs, 6 RBIs on the season for the senior outfielder and DH. Just a bit low for a ball, and the count is 2-0. Mike De La Rosa in the on-deck circle for the Blue Storm, wearing their road blue and white uniforms. 2-0. Just missed low for a ball. The count goes to 3-0. Wally, one of 5 players on this Mercersburg team from Dhahran, Saudi Arabia. As the 3-0 is in there for a called strike, 3-1. So you've got to love the ethnicity on this Blue Storm team.
Well, Saudi Arabia is an area that Mercersburg has been getting players from and students from for a very long time. It's been a great kind of entry into the prep school system here for students from Saudi Arabia, and they have had some really, really good players that have come from there.
Count has now gone to 3-2 on Wally. And the pitch is fouled away out of play. We'll do it again, 3-2. So after Wally was ahead in the count, taking the first 3 pitches for balls, the count has now worked its way into a full count situation. Base is empty, 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Lagares is ready to go. He kicks and fires. Swing and a ground ball hit to short. Play by Lecky. Throw on to first is in time for out number 2.
And a really nice play by Lecky there. He's done an outstanding job in the absence of Matt Tola, doing a great job at shortstop. It's pretty rare to have a talent like Tola be able to go down and not really skip a beat, because you have a talented third baseman that can transition over to shortstop like Lawrenceville has, and you can just plug Will Venizelos right in there at third base. So they've done a great job in his absence. Lecky has.
Top of the order, Mike De La Rosa at the plate, and the pitch is in the dirt for a ball, 1-0.
And also, it's not like, I don't want to overstate it, but the last game that they played was a game that he got injured in. So when I say that, it's just the remainder of that game and this game, but he looks pretty comfortable out there at shortstop.
De La Rosa struck out swinging his first time up, and he grounds one foul left side, 1-1. A win for Mercersburg would keep them in the Maple League picture. Right now, Hun is atop the Maple League standings. Or no, they're not, rather.
No, Mercersburg is right now with only 2 losses in the league. They are in the driver's seat, Matt, as this one is fouled back and out of play. But they are in the driver's seat, so a win here today clinches at least a share of it. A sweep will clinch an outright title.
Okay.
Now, on the other side, a Lawrenceville win in the game that we're streaming guarantees that Hun gets a share of the title as well.
So the Lions take here this afternoon. Mercersburg looking to keep their eye on the crown. Popped up, shallow left side. Lecky back under it. And the side is retired. Another 1-2-3 inning for Lorenzo Lagares as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Lawrenceville leading 2-0 here on Strive. Home half of the third inning, Lawrenceville coming to bat with a 2-0 lead on Bo Lowry and the Mercersburg Blue Storm. Matt Nelson, Tom Monfilo back here with you as Lowry is set to face the top of the Big Red lineup. There'll be a Puzzi, Cuskley, and Lucky at the dish.
And only a couple really hard-hit balls off of Lowry, and one of them was not the one that drove in both of those runs, Matt.
A Puzzi at the dish. The first pitch is in there for a called strike, 0-1.
John Vasiliou hit a double off the wall to left field, and then Bernicke hit one out to left field on a line as well. So I think those are the only two, as this one is in high for a ball, I think those are the only two balls that were really hit solidly, because I still think that Lecky's was a bit of a kind of in-between fly ball that just kind of got a pretty fortuitous bounce down the right field line. So what I'm trying to say here is that Lowry, as ball 2 comes in, has really been doing a great job.
Puzzi walked and scored his first time up back in the first, and he swings and misses for strike 2. One more strike, and Lowry would have a hat trick in terms of consecutive strikeouts. Here's the 2-2, and that is low and in for a ball, 3-2.
Nice job laying off of that by Puzzi.
Swing and a miss, and there's the hat trick.
Lowry.
3 consecutive strikeouts for Bo Lowry. 1 out, bottom of the third.
And Lowry's had a lot of success, Matt, with that high fastball. It's a little bit deceptive as it comes out a little bit quicker than it might look from the side, but Lawrenceville hitters are struggling a little bit with that, especially when he elevates it, because he can add some more miles per hour on it.
Sean Cuskley at the dish for the Big Red. He struck out swinging his first time up and takes a called strike to make it 1-1. Pitch is up and away, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike on Cuskley. 1 out. Here at the bottom of the third inning, the pitch is dropped by the catcher, Chris Aduse Poku. The count is 3-1. Swing, and it's found at the plate, 3-2. Dan Leckie coming up next for Lawrenceville. The head coach of the Big Red is Champ Atlee. The assistants are Paul Huron, Jose Rivera, and the pitching coach, a former summer collegiate baseball player in James Chiarello. This is line off the glove of Lowry. Scooped up by the shortstop Baker. Throw to first, not in time. It's an infield hit, I believe, for Cuskley. And Lawrenceville has a base runner on with 1 out.
Yeah, and a really nice job of 2-strike hitting by Cuskley as he does what he needs to do to get the barrel of the bat on the ball. Lowry just gets a bit of his glove on it, unable to make the play. So with 1 out, Lawrenceville the runner on first.
Dan Lucky at the dish. He had that single and then scored on a pair of errors as he takes the call and strike 0-1.
And you love that pitch call right there. The back foot breaking ball from Lowry commands it so well to righties.
0-1. In the dirt for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Lawrenceville coming off a 4-2 loss at the hands of Blair Academy on Wednesday, a game that would have kept them alive in the Maple League picture. Because had they won that game, Lawrenceville would have had the chance to have won the Maple League with a possible win today.
Yeah, because they would have owned the tiebreaker against Hun.
1-2 is grounded left side. Nice dive right there by the third baseman to prevent an extra base hit in Dylan Bartlett. It'll be an infield hit nonetheless for Dan Leckie. And the Big Red have runners at first and second, still 1 out. So back-to-back ground balls that turn into infield hits for Lawrenceville. Here is John Vasiliou, the DH. Vasiliou doubled his first time up. Lowry stares down the runner at first. Here's the pitch. Swing, ground ball, hit right to Baker. Toss to second for 1. On to first. 6-4-3 double play to end the frame.
And that is just an outstanding job. A great pitch by Lowry, getting the ground ball that he needed, and the execution in the field with one out and Lawrenceville threatening on the road. This is a big-time play for the Blue Storm. A phenomenal turn at second base by Tahara, and Lowry out of the jam for the Blue Storm.
Still 2-0 Lawrenceville as we go to the top of the fourth. Well, never mind. The replay's done. We'll be back in a moment here on Strive. Top of the fourth here in Lawrenceville. Mercersburg coming to the plate down 2-0. Matt Nelson, Tom Offaletto here with you. And Bo Lowry got himself out of a big-time jam back in the last frame. Deji Andrew looks at the first pitch for a ball that's low, 1-0 from Lorenzo Lagares. Andrew struck out looking back in the first, so he's 0 for 1 here this afternoon. 1-0. Swing, it's fouled straight back, and the count is 1-1.
You know, something that is just invaluable for pitchers like Lagares, pitchers like Lowry, pitchers like Christian Sook from Blair, Jason Applegate from Hun. Their pace is fantastic. They have a great tempo. They keep their fielders into the game.
1-1, breaking ball low and in for a ball, 2-1.
And that really helps your fielders because everybody's on their toes. They expect the ball, and they make great plays. And that's what you just saw at the end of the inning there as Lowry was able to get out of it with a double play.
The 2-1 to Andrew. In there at the knees for a called strike, 2-2. Tristan Baker and Chris Aduzzi Poku are due up next for the Blue Storm. And with a win here today, they would have at least a share of the Maple League championship. 2-2, low and outside for a ball, 3-2. Now, next week is when the Prep Base Day tournament begins. Lawrenceville has to travel up to Blair to play them. Correct me if I'm wrong, that's double elimination.
It is double elimination, and it as seen last year.
Popped up right side, chasing over for it is Will Bernicke. He won't get there in time. We'll do it again, 3-2.
And as proven last year, Matt, it is one of the more exciting tournaments because usually those four teams are very, very even. And this year they're pretty even as well because a lot of teams, there's a lot of parity. Lawrenceville beat Hun twice. Hun beat Blair twice. Blair beat Lawrenceville twice. It's, it goes back and forth like that. So should be another exciting tournament.
It's interesting how that all plays out. The 3-2 is lined deep right center field, and it's caught by the right fielder. Matt Gutierrez, he had to call Luca Puzzi off, who was diving for the ball and did a nice somersault, but it's Gutierrez who makes the out in right field.
Yeah, take a look at both outfielders converging on this. Gutierrez looks like he has it all the way, and Luca Puzzi absolutely catches that if it drops behind Gutierrez. And Gutierrez looks at him like, dude, what are you doing? I had it the whole time.
Exactly.
So good play by Gutierrez out in right field. Covered a lot of ground.
Tristan Baker at the dish for the Blue Storm. He walked his first time up on a 5-pitch plate appearance. Swing, a high fly ball, deep left field. Backing up is Cuskley, and that one bounces over his head off the wall. On the second goes Baker. He will be in there standing up with a 1-out double. Powerful hitting there by Tristan Baker, the future Shenandoah baseball player.
Take a look at this swing again. Gets all of this one. And Carl Reisner was hoping that this one was going to go out of the yard. It stays in. but a double and a big-time hit for Mercersburg.
We'll give you the outfield dimensions of James C. Waugh Field in a moment as Adusi Poku steps in. 0 for 1 with a fly out to left his first time up. First pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. It's 305 down the left field line. Center field is 375. Right center is 385, the deepest part of the ballpark, and 330 down the right field line.
And now, if you look at it, it does kind of look like a short porch to left field, and 305 is short, but that portion really only is true for straightaway left field, because it does, in the gaps, it gets really, really deep, especially in right center field.
It'll be a 2-0 to Adusi Puku as Lagares pitches, and it's low in the dirt for a ball, 3-0. Now, in terms of the infield, I was talking to Champ Atley yesterday. He told me that running on the bases might be difficult for Mercersburg because it hasn't rained here in about a week up until today, where we had a bit of a light mist early on before the first pitch.
A little surprise shower.
Yeah. Not expecting that at all.
Not expecting it, but yeah, you make do. A little dirty. Shoes are ruined.
So are my pants. It'll be a 3-1 to Adosi Puku with a runner at second. And the pitch is low for ball 4. So now Mercersburg has the tying run at first. The go-ahead run is at the plate, and that's Brandon Thomas who will be up next.
Brandon Thomas with a ton of speed. If he puts one into the gap, it's going to be trouble here for Lawrenceville. Lagares is kind of in his first difficult situation so far in this game.
Prior to this inning, the only base runner Lagares allowed was a walk to Tristan Baker back in the first. He then retired 7 batters in a row, and since then, a double by Baker and a walk to Adosi Puku. Thomas is ahead in the count 1-0. He grounded out to short back in the second. 0 for 1 so far. Lagares comes set, stares down the runner at second for a brief moment, and the pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1.
Lagares can bring it when he needs to. He can make a big pitch in a big spot.
Sun is trying to peek out of the clouds. I believe it's to our right just a bit. 1-1. Swing, a line drive, left field, base hit. And they're going to try to wave Baker around. The throw is cut off by the pitcher, and don't even think about it. Baker slides in, and it's a 2-1 Mercersburg deficit on the RBI single by Brandon Thomas.
Great piece of hitting by Brandon Thomas. Doesn't try to do too much with it. Lets it travel. Pokes it into left field for an RBI base hit. Check out this swing. Picture perfect. Hands inside. Nice little line drive over the shortstop's head. That's a beautiful piece of hitting.
It looks like Nick Miller is the runner at second as Miles Heron steps in. Heron struck out swinging his first time up back in the second. Little blooper, and it's going to be caught by the second baseman, Shugo Tahara.
No, it's Mike O'Hare making a great play for the Big Red, as that one was threatening a little bit. Stayed up in the air for long enough, however, for O'Hare to get under it. O'Hare, a really great athlete, also can go behind the plate for the Big Red, and a lot of potential out of him as well, but already a very skilled athlete.
So now it's pitcher on pitcher as Bo Lowry is at the dish. Lowry grounded out to short his first time up. Swing and a miss. Throw down to first is not in time. Strike 1. Now, if this were a major league game, you would think that the situation that Lagares has would be easy, being that it's pitcher on pitcher. But I'm sure that
not really the
in
case
high
school. Yeah,
in high school, is it the same or is it different?
it's way different because sometimes your pitcher's your best hitter.
Similar in softball in a way. Pitch is low and in for a ball, 1-1 to Lowry. Just missed outside, 2-1.
Lowry, if anybody will know the zone, it's the guy that's on the mound for the other squad. So Lowry, with a good understanding of the strike zone, lays off that one, gets the count in his favor.
Nick Miller, the pinch runner at second with Thomas at first, and it's fouled straight back, 2-2. If we continue on, Shugo Dahara is up next for the Blue Storm. And a base hit would potentially tie this game. Lagares. And it's fouled away. We'll do it again, 2-2.
Lagares loves going to that slider. It is his bread and butter, and it's a really, really tough pitch to hit. Really impressed with what I've seen on the mound from both teams today.
And now one of Mercersburg's assistant head coaches, going over there to bring a brand new baseball over to the home plate umpire. It'll be a 2-2 to Lowry. Runners at first and second, 2 out. Top of the fourth and a 2-1 Lawrenceville lead. And Lowry doing an excellent job staying in the count, fouling pitches off. Another 2-2 pitch awaiting to the Mercersburg freshman phenom left-handed pitcher. It's pitcher on pitcher. Line drive, left field, base hit. Miller trying to score from second. The throw cut off by the pitcher, and the throw is not in time. We're tied 2-2.
What a battle by Bo Lowry, and he comes out on top with this beautiful line drive base hit. Great call by Carl Reisner to send the runner, make a play, as they were not able to do it. Matt, I'm not sure if that cutoff slowed the ball down on its path to home plate, and if Lawrenceville could have had a play if they hadn't cut it off.
It's actually cut off by the third baseman, Will Venizelos. And Shugo Dahara steps in. It's 0-1 to the Mercersburg second baseman. Now a base hit would essentially give Mercersburg the lead here. Dahara struck out swinging his first time up. And now Dahara behind the count, 0-2. Thomas at second, Lowry at first. With 2 out here in the top of the fourth in a 2-2 ball game here in Lawrenceville, New Jersey. Lagares, the pitch. It is swung on a miss for strike 3. They'll have to throw down the first. And Dahara strikes out swinging and retired on the 2-3 putout. But not before Mercersburg ties this game. An RBI single by Brandon Thomas and another one by Bo Lowry ties the game 2-2 as we're halfway through game 1 here on Strive. We are back here for the bottom of the fourth. Matt Nelson, Tom Maffaletto here with you as Tom has briefly stepped out for a moment, so I'll be running solo until he returns. Lowry's first pitch to Matt Gutierrez is low for a ball, 1-0. Gutierrez struck out swinging his first time up, and he swings and misses, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike to the Lawrenceville right fielder. Bo Lowry, the left-hander, kicks and fires. And the pitch is swung on and missed for strike two. A nice off-speed pitch that time from the freshman phenom out of Martinsburg, West Virginia, Bo Lowry. Gutierrez, O'Hare, and Bernicke due up for the Big Red, and the pitch is low and away for a ball 2-2. 2 runs for Lawrenceville back in the first, and the pitch is fouled straight back. We'll do it again, 2-2. As Tom will rejoin me in just a moment. There'll be a 2-2 to Gutierrez. And it's in there for a called strike 3 at the knees. Six strikeouts for Matt Gutierrez. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. Mercersburg played 2 in the last frame, and they've done so on 3 hits, no errors. Lawrenceville with 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. I take that back. I believe Mercersburg does have a pair of errors in this ball game, as Michael O'Hare fouls this one away, 0-1. The 2 errors from Mercersburg came in the bottom of the first when Dan Leckie poached a single and wound up scoring on a pair of errors. It'll be a 1-1 to Michael O'Hare, who grounded out to short his first time up. And the pitch is in there for a called strike 1 and 2. O'Hare came into this game with a .417 batting average. Takes the next one high and tight for a ball 2-2. O'Hare out of Manasquan, New Jersey. And he swings and misses, strike 3. It's back-to-back Ks for Bo Lowry. 2 out here at the bottom of the fourth as Tom rejoins me here on the broadcast.
Yeah, and Lowry is just in such command now, I think with a little bit more confidence after he got that big hit in the top of the frame, coming out, throwing BBs.
Will Bernicke at the plate, and he pops one up. Left field, but playable for De La Rosa. And the sign is retired on a 1-2-3 frame for Bo Lowry. We head to the fifth, 2-2 game here on Strive. Top of the fifth here in a 2-2 ball game. Matt Nelson, Tom Monfiletto back here with you. It'll be Tahara, Wally, and De La Rosa to face Lorenzo Lagares, who has actually pitched a pretty good game here for Lawrenceville.
He's pitched a very, very good game. Got in a little bit of trouble last inning and really just kind of lost a one-on-one battle with Bo Lowry. But he has done a phenomenal job commanding his pitches, getting ahead, and working really fast here.
It's actually going to be Wally, De La Rosa, and Andrew here in the fifth. The first pitch is found straight back 0-1. Wally grounded out to short his first time up, so he's 0 for 1. And that bat came back in the third. Lagares Waiting for the signal. He's got it. 0-1. High fly ball. Right center field. Playable. And this time the communication works as Luca Puzzi makes the catch. 1 out. And I say the communication because the last time a fly ball was in that area, the right fielder and center fielder were chasing for it at the same time. The right fielder made the catch. The center fielder thought he had the ball in his glove and did a bit of a somersault in the grass.
Well, if you've watched Lawrenceville play at all, you come accustomed to Luca Puzzi covering just a ton of ground in center field. Does so again right there.
Mike De La Rosa swings and misses, and the count is 0-1 to the Mercersburg left fielder. De La Rosa flied out to short his last time up. 0 for 2 on the afternoon. 0-1. Swing. Popped up. Left side of the infield, playable for Dan Leckie, who makes the call and the catch. 2 down.
A nice start to the inning by Lagares. Just not trying to do anything cute. Just getting ahead of the count, throwing strikes, and just challenging hitters. He's doing a great job. This has become quite the pitcher's duel here, shaping up to for a pretty exciting finish, Matt.
Deji Andrew at the plate for Mercersburg. And he looks at the first pitch, which is low and outside for a ball, 1-0. The last 1-2-3 inning for Lagares came back in the second, where he had a pair of ground outs to short and struck out a batter swinging. This one is lifted high in the air to right and out of play, and the count is 1-1. Andrew flied out to right field his last time up in the fourth and struck out looking back in the first, so he's 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Base is empty with 2 out here in the top of the fifth. And the pitch is outside for a ball, 2-1. Mercersburg looking for a bit of a comeback win. If they win today, they will have at least a share of the Maple League title with the Hunt School. 2-1 is outside and upstairs for a ball, 3-1. So if Mercersburg were to do that, and then they win the second game, they will have an outright win for the Maple League. It'll be a 3-1 to Andrew. Swing, it's fouled straight back, 3-2.
And Matt, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Mercersburg has won the past 3 Maple championships. As Petty was the one to take it the year before they started their run here. And just true testament to what kind of a program Carl Reisner's been running.
The pitch to Andrew is popped up left side in the trees. I believe that's going to miss us. It will. We'll do it again, 3-2. Lagares kicks, payoff pitch, in the dirt for ball 4, and Andrew takes his base for the first time today.
And we saw the rally in the top of the 4th inning occur with 2 outs, so Mercersburg capable of getting something going here with some good at-bats.
And the go-ahead run now at first for Tristan Baker. Baker with a double and a run scored back in the 4th. Also walked in the first, so he's 1 for 1. Pitches in the dirt, runner takes off for second, and the pitch gets away in the shallow center field. It's a stolen base for Deji Andrew, his 10th stolen base of 2015.
And we'll take a look. It's a really good jump. It's a really good pitch to steal on, Matt. And they just caught Michael Hare sleeping a little bit here. Some miscommunication in the middle of the infield. And that's where you see the loss of Matt Tola really kind of taking its toll on this, so to speak, on this Lawrenceville defense. But good job of Mercersburg. Take advantage of that. Andrew, the speedster. Perfect combination. Perfect pitch to go on. Little mental lapse in the field.
1-0. Another one in the dirt for a ball, 2-0. Got a busy schedule coming up here on Strive. As a matter of fact, about 20 minutes or so, baseball game coming up between Blair and Hill. And then we got a championship game on Monday, the Prep B Girls Lacrosse State Championship between Pennington and Princeton Day School.
And that one will be on a bit of a tape delay, Matt.
Right.
As we will not be covering it live, but it should be up by that evening.
And then Wednesday, Tom and I will be back at Blair for Blair Petty Girls Lacrosse regular season game. Baker now has worked the count into a 2-2 situation. And a base hit with Andrew at second could potentially give Mercersburg their first lead of the contest. Two out, top of the fifth. And the pitch is low for a ball, 3-2. Do you send Andrew here?
No. You don't want to make the last out at third base, but the Mercersburg hitters are doing a really good job of working every single count, and they're really making Lagares work to get outs out here.
Lagares, the pitch. It is low and outside, ball 4. Back-to-back walks given up by Lorenzo Lagares, with the next batter coming to the plate for Mercersburg. Now, Nick Miller pinch ran for Chris Aduzzi-Poku in the last frame, and it looks like Aduzzi-Poku will once again come to the plate for the Blue Storm.
Oh, yeah, Miller's just a courtesy runner. It's what they use for catchers and pitchers, so they're allowed to kind of free substitute.
First pitch, fly ball, right field, but playable for Gutierrez. He'll make the catch. And a huge sigh of relief for Lorenzo Lagares as the side is retired. And Mercersburg leaves 2 runners on base. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth. Still a 2-2 game here on Strive. Bottom of the fifth hitting here in Lawrenceville. The Big Red and the Mercersburg Blue Storm tied up at 2 here on the Strive Network. As Bo Lowry is back on the hill to face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Big Red. Greg Judison at the plate. Count 0-1 to the Lawrenceville catcher. Lowry working fast. The pitch is low and in for a ball, 1-1. Judison struck out swinging his first time up. And he looks at a nice breaking ball that drops in at the knees for a called strike 2. That strikeout by Judison back in the second was the first of 3 consecutive punch-outs by Lowry in the second and third innings combined. And since Lowry gave up those 2 runs back in the first, he has been nothing but phenomenal. Seven strikeouts, including 3 consecutive, the ones I just mentioned in the second and third inning combined, and then 2 in a row in the fourth. Ground ball hit right to Lowry. Easy play. And a toss to first for an easy 1-3 put out. 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth.
And Lowry's just one of those guys who's just a complete athlete. No matter what, he's just an athlete. He's going to make plays. He's going to field his position. He's going to know what to do. He's going to communicate. And he's just going to make big-time plays. And you saw it. He did it with the bat earlier. Just made a nice, tough play on a ground ball right at him, and obviously doing a great job on the mound.
Will Venizelos at the plate. He was showing bunt. I'm not sure if that pitch went off his bat. It did not, so it's a ball 1-0. Venizelos, struck out swinging his first time up. Lifts one in the air, right field, but playable for Brandon Thomas. He's under it. 2 pitches, 2 outs here at the bottom of the 5th. You look at a freshman pitcher like Lowry, who's been able to become a practical name here at Mercersburg. How long does it normally take for a freshman pitcher to kind of get accustomed to what he's doing?
Not very long. You mean just enjoying success at the high school level?
Pretty much.
Yeah, no, it's that first start. It's the first scrimmage. You get out on the mound. We at this one in for a ball at the Hun School. They had a very similar player, very similar prospect that looked exactly like Poe actually on the mound. His name was Steve Garrison, lefty pitcher with a ton of command and some great athleticism, and he just kind of was thrown right into the fire. And when you get guys that are like this, that are just complete competitors, there's really not too much of a learning curve at all.
Luke Apuzzi draws a walk on 4 pitches. Second walk drawn to Apuzzi. He's now on base for the second time today. And you mentioned Steve Garrison, now playing for the Independent League Camden River Sharks down in the Atlantic League. Just a short drive from here. Sean Cusley at the plate now for Lawrenceville. And the pitch is swung on and missed, strike 1. Cusley had an infield single his last time up in the 3rd, struck out swinging in the 1st, so he's 1 for 2. Lifts one in the air, right side, foul, and out of play.
Now, that's where if you're Cusley, it's difficult to do, and it's much easier said than done, but Luke Apuzzi had that base completely stolen. Got a really good read on Lowry, went on first move, and if you're Cusley, you have to be disciplined enough to let that ball go and get Luke into scoring position.
0-2. Swing, lifted foul, once again, right side, out of play. Do it again at 0-2. Lawrenceville had a 4-game winning streak against teams such as St. Benedict's Prep, West Windsor North, and Pennington, as well as Hill, before they dropped 1 to Blair, which makes it a little bit difficult for them to try and win the Maple, throw down the first, not in time. As for Mercersburg, same thing. A 4-game win streak blown up by Musselman on the road earlier this week. 7-6 loss. It'll be a 1-2 to the Lawrenceville left fielder Sean Cusley. The pitch by Lowry in the dirt for a ball 2-2. Dan Leckie would be next if the inning were to continue for the Big Red. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's strikeout number 8 for Bo Lowry, who's done a fine job this afternoon. And despite a 2-out walk, Lowry gets out of it. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. On to the 6th here in Lawrenceville in a 2-2 game. Top of the sixth here in Lawrenceville. 2-2 game. Matt Nelson, Tom Monfiletto back here with you. Brandon Thomas, Miles Herron, Bo Lowry out to face Lorenzo Lagares for the third time this afternoon.
Thompson laced the single into left field for an RBI the last time he was up, seeing the ball pretty well.
And the first pitch is a ball 1-0, high and tight to Thomas, the Mercersburg right fielder.
Thomas loves going to the opposite field. His first time up, grounded out to Lecky at short. A ball that looked like a routine ground ball, and Thomas almost beat it out. So a lot of wheels. He likes to keep his hands inside and just kind of spray it the other way.
1-0 to Thomas, high and away, 2-0. Thomas, sophomore outfielder from Austin, Texas. The only player on this Mercersburg team from the South. 2-0 on the way. In there for a called strike one, and the count 2-1. James Chiarello, the pitching coach for Lawrenceville, has done a really fine job with Lorenzo Lagares as the 2-1 is fouled straight back, 2-2.
Yeah, I'm really just impressed with how Lagares has been able to get behind in counts and then come back from it. That's always kind of a difficult thing to do mentally. When you get behind, to be able to work your way back into the favor of a count. He's been able to do that pretty consistently here today.
Now, Lagares actually pitched the last game for Lawrenceville, that game at Hill. As the next one is fouled straight back again. We'll do it again at 2-2. I don't think you're seeing any layoff from how Lagares is pitching. I mean, he still looks very, very solid on the mound.
No, I think that game was last Saturday, I believe.
Oh, it was the game at Hill.
It was. I'm not sure where it was, but
okay.
So he has had a week, but he's doing a great job settling into this role as a number 3 starter.
Popped up left side of the infield. Will Venizelos can't make the catch. Might have been off the tip of his glove, but that puts Thomas aboard with nobody out.
And that's a tough play. It's almost like a major league pop-up there. Job by Thomas to get the ball in play, and this is why you say getting the ball in play is much better than striking out, because stuff like this does happen. It's a tough sky. It's a bright white sky with the clouds. So got a young freshman on third base. Winds up with a runner on first.
Here's Miles Herron at the dish. 0 for 2, and he bunts it toward first. Picked up by Lagares. Throw down to first is in time. Going to second is Brandon Thomas on the sacrifice bunt by Miles Herron.
And you heard Carl Reisner before Brandon Thomas got on, before he stepped up to the plate. He said, "Hey, we need you on." And, that's kind of a generic thing that you usually say to somebody when you want them to lead off the inning. But that they really did, because Mercersburg loves to play small ball. They love to get runners over, and they executed very well, as you just saw with that perfectly placed sacrifice bunt. Now
it's pitcher on pitcher with Bo Lowry at the plate. He lifts one high in the air. Might be playable for the catcher. He's got to back up, and it's going to be foul right in front of Greg Jittison for strike one.
2 misplayed balls. That could have been 2 outs here for Lawrenceville. So this is big-time kind of fortitude testing for Lagares on the mound. Not getting much help from his fielders on 2 routine pop-ups. But this is a good opportunity to show how he's able to battle through this kind of adversity.
And this one is lined straight away right center field. It drops in for a base hit. Coming around to score is Thomas, and he will do so on the second RBI single of the day by Bo Lowry. And it's 3-2 Blue Storm.
And just like that, you can't give a hitter like this another opportunity at the plate. When you get him to pop up, here he sits back on it beautifully. That's a really, really nice swing. Right to the right of second base. Apuzzi makes a good play on it. Blindly throws into the infield. Almost is able to make a play on the run on Thomas coming home. Was a very, very fast runner. But a nice hit by Lowry. And a lead here for Mercersburg for the first time today.
It looks like we'll have a pinch hitter come in for Shugo Tahara. It's number 16, Ben Doika, a sophomore catcher out of Mercersburg. Pennsylvania. Meeting on the mound is James Chiarello, the pitching coach for Lawrenceville, is speaking with Lagares and Jittison. A single by Thomas, at least what I don't know if that's a single or an error on the third baseman. A sac bunt by Miles Hare, and then the RBI single by Bo Lowry has given Mercersburg a 3-2 lead. With Ben Doika at the plate for the Blue Storm. Digging in for the sign is Lagares. No action in the bullpen for Lawrenceville as Lagares steps off the mound. Runner at first, one out. Here in the top of the sixth. The pitch as the runner takes off. Swing and a miss. Lowry is safe at second. On the stolen base, Bo Lowry now in scoring position for Mercersburg.
Actually a pretty decent release by Jittison and a nice throw a little bit to the right of the bag. Lecky unable to make the tag as a good slide at second base.
It'll be an 0-1 to Doika. And the pitch by Lagares. Just missed outside, ball one. Approaching the bottom of the hour here in Lawrenceville. Matt Nelson, Tom Monfiletto here with you on the Strive Network. One out, top of the sixth, and a 3-2 Mercersburg lead. Pitch is low and outside again, 2-1. An RBI single by the pitcher, Bo Lowry, has given Mercersburg a 3-2 lead, and St. John Smith has come on to actually pinch run for Bo Lowry. So I believe we're actually going to credit St. John Smith with the stolen base.
Yes, he's a courtesy runner for Lowry. So it was a nice slide. Actually, he didn't slide. It was a nice option to not slide because the throw beat him a little bit off the mark. That's why, Lecky covering second base, sometimes, a lot of guys teach you wait for the ball to come to you, then you slap a tag. But in that case, if you see it kind of drifting and Jittison's ball does kind of run a little bit, kind of have to get in front of the bag, catch it, and then come around and make an athletic tag. Unable to do so, Mercersburg got a runner in scoring position.
2-2 to Doika in the dirt, and a nice block there by Jittison to make the count full 3-2. St. John Smith, the pinch runner, junior infielder and pitcher out of Nazareth, Pennsylvania. Also home to the formerly known Nazareth Speedway, which is actually partially still in existence if you look on Google Maps, but there's no stands. There's no grandstands. 3-2 to Doika is low and outside, ball four.
Lawrenceville does not have anybody warming up here in the pen, Matt, so they could have to bring in a position player to finish things off if Lagares is getting tired. Only really given up 4 hits on the day. He really has not done a bad job. Those two drop pop flies turned out to be huge. First and second, though, as we have a pinch runner coming in.
Tahara will actually pinch
so he'll re-enter.
run.
He'll re-enter into his spot in the lineup. But you have runners out the bases. You got to force at every base besides home. Possible double play opportunity here for the Big Red.
Tucker Wally looks at the first pitch. It's low for a ball, 1-0 to the Mercersburg DH. Wally flied out to center field his last time up in the fifth and grounded out to short back in the third. So he's 0 for 2 today. Coming set is Lagares. The pitch. High. Ball 2.
And Mercersburg, they will not chase. They're too disciplined of hitters to chase early in the count, and that's how they've been able to get back into this game to get runners on base. They're feeling a ton of momentum right now. That dugout is buzzing.
3-0 now to Wally. And, yeah, like you mentioned, Tom, now the Mercersburg players in the dugout, third base side, pretty much everyone is standing up right now. A win today gives them at least a share of the Maple League Championship. If they are to win Game 2, they win the Maple League outright. And now it's ball 4 to Wally, and the bases are loaded for Mike De La Rosa. This might do it. as Champ Batley makes his way out to the hill. He takes the ball from the hands of Lagares, and Lagares is finished here in the 6th inning. New man coming on the hill for Lawrenceville. It's 3-2 Mercersburg with 1 out here in the top of the 6th.
And Lagares really nothing to hang his head about, Matt. It's a pretty good outing for Lorenzo Lagares, who's probably going to go back into the game to play second base as Venizelos coming into the game, who's done a great job for them out of the pen. So you do see Lagares coming back in, and he'll go to second. Mike O'Hare will move to third base. So a little bit of reshuffling here for the Lawrenceville infield. But Lagares, very, very good game on the mound. Didn't get much help there. Specifically in this inning, had some really nice plays by Lecky earlier in the game. So now it's up to Venizelos to keep Mercersburg at bay here. Bases loaded as a freshman coming in this big time game. Not the easiest spot, but he is not your ordinary freshman. He's mature beyond his years, and he's a very, very skilled baseball player.
So right now, Lagares, to what he did early on this game, mainly retiring a lot of batters in the first 3 innings, and then the 4th inning really caught up to him, and Mercersburg tied the game, and now they're ahead with the RBI single by Bo Lowry, which took place not too long ago.
And a lot of it had to do with Mercersburg's approach at the plate. They're so patient. They don't chase. They wait for their pitch and pitches that they can handle. A lot of their hits went to the opposite field. Thomas had a base hit to the opposite field, and Lowry with that huge hit earlier in the game, earlier in this inning, to get the lead for Mercersburg, right center field. So great approaches at the plate by these Mercersburg Blue Storm hitters, and they've gotten themselves in control of this game and put Lawrenceville on the ropes.
So here is De La Rosa, who's 0 for 3 today. A pair of flyouts, 1 to short, 2 to short, and 1 strikeout. The pitch in there for a called strike 1. So bases loaded, still 1 out, and if you're Lawrenceville, you gotta be hoping now for a double play situation. Next pitch is high for a ball, 1-1 to De La Rosa.
Top of the order up, no less.
Deji Andrew is up next for Mercersburg. The 1-1 from Venizelos is low in the dirt, 2-1. So Lagares has moved over to second for Lawrenceville. And Michael O'Hare goes from second to third. Pitch is fouled away, 2-2.
Venizelos, great job evening the count here after getting behind against a very, very good hitter. We'll see what he comes with here on a 2-2 pitch. Jittison getting the signs from Coach Chiarello.
It'll be a 2-2, and here it comes.
Batter at the plate gets a pop fly, one of the few things that would have been fortuitous for Lawrenceville. Now 2 outs on the board, they can relax a little bit, make a play, and they have a force at any base. That is a big time out for the Big Red. And Mercersburg still an opportunity to break this open, though, with 2 outs as they've done before.
And even a much bigger out coming up here is Deji Andrew is at the dish, and the first pitch is low for a ball, 1-0. If you retire Andrew, that's a huge sign of relief for Venizelos and this entire Lawrenceville team, because now they can go into the next frame and try and tie this game. 1-0. Pitch is in the dirt. A nice block that time by Greg Jittison. The count 2-0 to Andrew.
And here we go again. Mercersburg with another 2-0 count. See if Andrew is able to take advantage of it.
Andrew walked and stole the bases last time up. He also has flied out to right and struck out looking, so he's 0 for 2.
Outfield playing pretty much straight away, taking away the caps.
And the pitch is high for a ball, 3-0 to Andrew.
See if Venizelos can come back from this as he did in the previous at-bat. If he does, it'd be quite impressive.
3-0. In there for a called strike, just as you would most likely expect. Count goes to 3-1. The Blair Hill baseball game has just started on our other Strive Network broadcast. Brian Clark and Derek Raymond have the call for you on that game. Line drive, right field, base hit. 1 run and scores. In comes Tahara. He will score and slide in safely. It's a 2-run single for Deji Andrew. And Mercersburg extends the lead to 5-2.
Great at bat, great piece of hitting by Andrew. Look at this swing as he lets it travel perfectly, nails it. Line drive in between first and second. This is just a clinic right here on how to hit.
Tristan Baker is up next, as Mercersburg has blown this game up. A 2-run single by Andrew here. And now runners at first and second for the Blue Storm. Still 2 out here in the frame. And the pitch to Baker is a nice pitch. Breaking ball on the knees for a called strike. Baker walked his last time up, doubled and scored in the fourth, and also walked in the first. So he's 1 for 1 and has reached base all 3 times. 0-1. In the dirt, nice block again by Jettison. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Give credit to Jettison for what he's done as catcher for Lawrenceville and some of those interesting pitches. Nice use of the chest, nice use of the body to block the pitches that come his way. 1-1. Pitches in there for a strike. Throw down to first is not in time. And Andrew is safe. And the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. 5 runs on 5 hits for Mercersburg, 2 runs on 4 hits for Lawrenceville, and they are not counting errors on the scoreboard here at James C. Waugh Field. Ground ball blocked by Venizelos. He has to go quickly to first, and he does so. Side retired. But Mercersburg has blown this game up. An RBI single by Bo Lowry and a 2-run single by Deji Andrew. 3 runs in the frame as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Mercersburg leads 5-2. We go to the last of the 6th. Bo Lowry's first pitch to Dan Leckie is low for a ball. It's 1-0. 5-2, Mercersburg leading Lawrenceville here in Game 1 of this doubleheader. We only have the first game for you here on Strive. As the next pitch, I believe that was outside of the strike zone.
Got 2-0 count here.
Yep. Leckie on the day, 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. Lifts one high in the air, right side. Chasing over it for the right fielder, and he makes the catch. That's Brandon Thomas. A nice running catch. I believe he was inbound, so it's an F9. There's 1 out.
And Thomas, that's where you see his speed really showing off as he covered a ton of ground to get to that foul ball. Had a big out from Lowry. Get the 3-hitter, Leckie, one of the best hitters here today. That's a big out. Here's another one if he can get it. And Vasiliou.
Vasiliou with a grounder to third. Past the third baseman, Dylan Bartlett in for a base hit to left field. Still 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th for Matt Gutierrez. Gutierrez, pair of strikeouts in this game, 0 for 2. One swinging in the first, the other looking in the 4th. The pitch by Lowry. In there for a call of strike 1. The action is starting to warm up now for Lawrenceville in the bullpen. We'll tell you more about that in a minute. The throw back to first is 9 time. Vasiliou is safe. Will Venizelos is continuing to warm up. It looks like he'll probably return to the hill for the top of the 7th inning for the Big Reds. This one is fouled right to the Mercersburg dugout, and the count is 0-2. That one went right in the direction of Carl Reisner, the 24th year head coach of the baseball team, 42nd year he has coached sports, both at the varsity and JV level at the home of the Blue Storm. 0-2. Swing, line drive center field, right center field, drops in for a hit. On his way to third is Vasiliou. He will get there and will get the wave to come home. The throw is a bit high. Going from second to third is Gutierrez. RBI double for Matt Gutierrez, and the deficit is down to 2 runs. It's 5-3.
And that throw really got away from Tahara, and that's a big deal because you had 2 bases on a ball out of play. It's a great hit from Gutierrez, but that overthrow, this is how important it is to hit your cutoff man. That overthrow is huge as it allows Gutierrez to come all the way around and score. Almost very similar to what happened in the first inning. Great piece of hitting by Gutierrez. Vasiliou chugging around the bases. Not sure if there was a piano on his back because it didn't look like he was moving very fast, and a good throw might have had a chance, but it goes out of play. And then, boom, 2 runs for the Lawrenceville Big Red. No outs in the inning.
Tying run at the plate as O'Hare lifts one to center. On for it is the center fielder, Desi Andrew. He makes the catch, 2 out. Will Beneke is next. Beneke, pair of flyouts, both to left, one in the second, the other in the 4th. And it's fouled straight back, 0-1.
And this Lawrenceville team, I've seen them play way too many times to count them out of a game. They got guys that swing, they're free swingers, they can hit the ball, they can hit the daylights out of the baseball, and they just don't care if they're down. They don't care what the deficit is.
So Gutierrez actually came in the score on what was officially an RBI double. So it's down to 5-4. Tying run at the dish. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Base is empty with 2 out. Lowry, the kick and the pitch. Check, swing. It's in there for a call and strike 2.
I also feel like the angrier that Lowry gets, the better he pitches. And he comes up on, he just challenges everybody. It's outstanding.
And that pitch is in there for a called strike 3, a massive punch out for Bo Lowry here in the bottom of the 6th. We head to the 7th. Lawrenceville trails Mercersburg 5-4 here in Game 1, right here on the Strive Network. 6 innings down, 1 inning to go here in Lawrenceville of Game 1. It's Mercersburg on top 5-4. If they hang on for this one, they will clinch at least a share of the Maple League Championship. Matt Nelson, Tom Monfaleo back here with you. Will Venizelos back on the hill to face Chris Aduzzi-Puku to lead things off. And the first pitch is in there in the outside corner for a called strike 1.
A little bit more comfortable of a situation for Venizelos to come into. Nobody on base as opposed to the bases loaded in the top of the lineup coming up for Mercersburg.
This one is swung on and fouled at the dish for an 0-2 count. Aduzzi-Puku flied out to left in the first, walked and scored in the fourth, and flied out to right in the fifth. So he's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. It'll be an 0-2 to Aduzzi-Puku as Venizelos kicks, and the pitch is low and outside for a ball 1-2.
That's a good 0-2 pitch, though. You don't want to give him anything close. Very dangerous hitter at the plate. Aduzzi-Puku looking to get something going here for the Blue Storm. Some insurance.
Brandon Thomas and Miles Heron would be up next. The pitch is in the dirt. Good block that time by Greg Jittison, and we've seen him do that a bunch of times, especially in the last inning.
And I don't think Aduzzi-Puku gets enough credit for what next game, Matt. So
Gotcha.
Just getting loose based on the timing of how everything goes. Everybody has a nice routine, right?
John Vasiliou will take the start for game 2. The ground ball down the third base line is foul. We'll do it again, 2-2, the count. Looking ahead at what Mercersburg has coming up, they have a couple of home games, one against Jefferson, the other against the Kiski School on May 12th and then May 19th. Fly ball to center. Apuzzi is under it. Couple steps to his left, and he makes the catch, one away.
Really nice job by Venizelos getting the first out of the inning. It's a big out. It's a great at-bat by Aduzzi-Puku. I mean, they make you battle to get outs. Every single hitter has such a great approach. It's really probably been, besides Lowry on the mound, it's been probably the most impressive thing about this Blue Storm team.
Here's Brandon Thomas. Thomas had a single and a run scored his last time up. First pitch in the dirt for a ball 1-0. Thomas also had an RBI single in the fourth and grounded out to short in the second. So he's had a comfortable 2 for 3 afternoon. Coming set is Venizelos, the pitch. And it's just outside for a ball 2-0. Looking ahead at what Lawrenceville has coming up in the bottom of the 7th, you have Jittison, Venizelos, and then Apuzzi. 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Big Red in the bottom of the 7th. They would need a run to tie, 2 to win. It'll be a 3-0 to Thomas. Venizelos has the sign and the pitch. In there, called strike 1.
I don't think there has been a single 4-pitch walk today, Matt. It's a testament to these pitchers really digging deep when they get behind an account.
No, you're right. Actually, you might want to take that back because this one is in the dirt. For ball 4, Thomas draws a walk. The 4-pitch walk I have is the one to Tucker Wally in the last frame.
Missed it.
Shame on you. Here's Miles Heron at the plate. Heron had a sac bunt his last time up, 1-3 on the putout. And Heron swings and misses for strike 1. Heron also flied out to second and struck out swinging in the second, so he's actually 0 for 2. Runner at first with 1 out. Pitch is
It's in for a strike.
In for a strike. Just wanted to make sure about that. So it's 0-2. Fake throw from Jidison to first that time. Thomas with a nice lead from first. And the 0-2 to Heron. It gets behind the bag, and the runner will take off for second. So Thomas now in scoring position. Will see if that's a pass ball or a wild pitch.
That's a tough one. It's a tough one on Jidison. I usually side with the catcher, so we might go with a wild pitch there, Matt.
Okay.
Nonetheless, a runner in scoring position takes away the opportunity for a double play for Lawrenceville and gives Mercersburg another one to get some insurance.
1-2. Swing. Popped up right side, out of play. We'll do it again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bo Lowry would be up next for Mercersburg. 1-2. In there, called strike 3.
At the plate and on the mound, really just taking control of this game.
Lowry, 2 for 3. 2 RBI singles and a run scored.
Came up big in both spots, and when you're somebody that's as good of a pitcher as he is, that's had the experience that he has in tough spots, you know, the moment doesn't get too big for you when you're at the plate, and he showed that time and time again. 2 big-time RBI today.
This one in the dirt, another good block there by Jidison, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes.
This is a really cool thing to see, and it's going to be pretty fun following this guy throughout his high school, college, whatever career.
It'll be a 2-0 to Lowry. The pitch by Venizelos is low. 3-0. Thomas is at second. He did not steal a base, but he does have 5 stolen bases on the season. Got a small lead from second. 3-0. In there for a called strike 1. Second time here in the frame that Will Venizelos has had to deal with a 3-1 count.
Another hitter's count here for Mercersburg. Seems like they've always worked their way into a hitter's count.
Popped up. Right side of the infield. Playable for the first baseman who makes the catch. That's Will Bernicke, and the side is retired. So as we said before, 8-9-1 due up for Lawrenceville. Jidison, Venizelos, and Apuzzi due up next. Can Lawrenceville bring on the comeback, or will Mercersburg have at least a share of the Maple League title? Back after this here on Strive. Last of the 7th, and what a better way to close out this broadcast with a potential, with a 1-run game here in the bottom of the 7th. 5-4, Mercersburg leads. A pinch hitter for Greg Jidison. It's number 18, Nick Silber.
Nick Silber, the ace of this staff, threw against Blair. An outstanding prospect.
2-0 lifted high in the air. Right side, foul territory, playable, and caught by the right fielder. Brandon Thomas, 1 out.
Hey, if it hangs up long enough, Brandon Thomas is going to get under it. He's an outstanding athlete with a ton of speed. Another great play from Thomas in right field.
So now it's pitcher on pitcher with Will Venizelos at the dish. First pitch is a called strike, 0-1. Venizelos flied out to right and struck out swinging. He's 0 for 2 on the afternoon. And now he's behind. And Lawrenceville is down to their last out.
You know what? Just an outstanding job mixing pitches, keeping the hitters off balance, absolutely no pressure. Seen on Bo Lowry. But up comes Luca Puzzi, one of the big bats in this Lawrenceville lineup.
Posey has gotten on base twice, courtesy of walks. One in the 5th, the other in the 1st. So the last chance here for Lawrenceville. A win for Mercersburg gives them at least a share of the Maple League Championship. As Lowry throws a strike for a 1-1 count upcoming. Lowry has worked quickly at various points throughout today's ballgame. Now he's looking to settle in for the last time this afternoon. It'll be a 2-1 to Luca Puzzi. The pitch in there, called strike 2. One more strike.
That's a really tough pitch to hit. Low and inside at the knees. Really great spot by Lowry.
2-2. High, 3-2. Here we go. In there, called strike 3. And Mercersburg has another chance to win the Maple League Championship. They have now clinched at least a share of the Maple League Championship with the Hun School. And with a win in Game 2, would win it outright.
Just a phenomenal team effort here by Mercersburg. They fought through adversity. They withstood a couple comebacks here from Lawrenceville. And it starts with the performance on the mound and Bo Lowry and the 2 big-time RBI singles by him as well. So a great game here for the Blue Storm, a great effort by Lawrenceville, and we saw a great one. And Lawrenceville's going to come out and try to get away with a win here in this series, a split. But Mercersburg, for the 4th year in a row, has clinched at least a share of the Maple Championship, and that is a feat. That is something to absolutely be proud of. And Carl Reisner, in his last season, for him to get another share of a Maple Championship is just absolutely outstanding.
What a job by this Mercersburg team, and a job well done by Bo Lowry. Pitching a complete game, and now Mercersburg will look to potentially win the Maple League Championship. For Lawrenceville, next up for them, NJISAA Prep A State quarterfinals at Blair next week. Tom and I will be back with you on Monday for the Prep B State Championship on tape delay for girls lacrosse. Pennington versus Princeton Day. For now, the final score here in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Mercersburg defeats Lawrenceville 5-4. For Tom Maffaletto, Matt Nelson signing off for you now. We ask that you tune in to Blair and Hill with baseball. Ryan Clark has the call for that game. Take care, folks.